You wake up before the sun. The castle is still black against the cold sky. Wind slips through the cracks in the stone walls and crawls under your blanket of rough wool. Your bones ache from sleeping on straw. You are 10 years old, and already your body feels older. Today, like every day, belongs to someone else. You were born in a small village in 12th century England, the son of a minor noble who owned little land and too many children. Your father could not afford to keep you, so he sent you away. At 7 years old, you rode through the gates of another lord's castle and became a squire, not a hero, not a warrior, a servant who dreams of becoming one. You remember the first morning clearly. The castle smelled of smoke, manure, and wet stone. Chickens wandered the courtyard. Dogs fought over bones. Men in armor shouted orders while servants carried water buckets heavier than your arms could manage. You stood there in borrowed clothes that were too large, trying not to cry. A knight named Sir Aldrich looked down at you like a farmer judging a weak horse. "You belong to me now," he said. "That was the beginning of your training. Your childhood disappears quickly. You wake before sunrise every day. Your first task is cleaning armor. Iron plates smeared with old sweat and dried blood must shine like mirrors. The smell of rust and oil stains your hands. If the armor is not perfect, Sir Aldrich strikes you with the flat of his hand. You learn quickly. After the armor comes the horses. War horses are huge animals, taller than you, with teeth that snap when they are angry. You brush their coats, scrape mud from their hooves, and shovel piles of manure until your back burns. Sometimes a horse kicks. One boy loses 3 teeth when a hoof hits his face. He still has to work the next day. Food is never enough. You eat thick bread that tastes like dust. Sometimes there is cabbage soup floating with fat. Meat is rare, and it always goes to the knights first. You watch them eat roasted pork beside roaring fires while you sit with the servants on the cold floor. Your stomach growls constantly. Hunger becomes part of your body. Training begins when the knights wake. At first you carry equipment, shields, spears, heavy mail coats. The metal bites into your shoulders while you walk behind Sir Aldrich across the courtyard. The older squires laugh when you stumble. You learn not to complain. Complaining earns punishment. By 12 years old, you hold a wooden sword. The training yard smells of mud and sweat. Boys strike each other again and again until arms shake from exhaustion. The wooden blades crack against helmets and ribs. Bruises bloom across your body like dark flowers. Broken fingers are common. Crying is forbidden. Sir Aldrich teaches you the rules of knighthood, honor, loyalty, obedience, but the lessons are not gentle. When you make mistakes, he throws you into the dirt. When you drop a shield, he makes you hold a heavy stone above your head until your arms collapse. You begin to understand something important. Knighthood is not glory. It is endurance. At 14, you witness your first real violence. A thief is dragged into the courtyard. His hands are tied behind his back. The villagers watch silently. Sir Aldrich hands you the whip. Your hands shake. "Punish him," he says. You strike the man across the back. Once, twice. The sound is like tearing cloth. Blood appears quickly. The crowd watches without speaking. When it is over, your stomach empties onto the dirt. Sir Aldrich calls it a lesson. War arrives soon after. A rival lord claims land near the border. Messengers ride in, soldiers gather, the castle fills with noise and tension. Armor is repaired, swords are sharpened. You polish Sir Aldrich's breastplate until your fingers bleed. For the first time, you will ride to battle beside him. The march is slow and miserable. Rain falls for 3 days without stopping. Mud sucks at the horses' hooves. Your cloak becomes heavy and cold. At night, soldiers gamble beside small fires while you clean armor again under flickering light. The older men tell stories of battles. Most stories end with someone dying horribly. The battlefield is not what you imagined. There are no shining banners or heroic charges, only chaos. Men scream, horses crash into each other, arrows whistle through the air. Mud mixes with blood until the ground becomes dark and slick. Your job is simple. Stay close to Sir Aldrich. Hand him weapons. Do not get in the way. You see your first death up close. A soldier runs past with half his face missing. He falls into the mud beside you. His hands twitch for several seconds before becoming still. The smell of blood is thick and metallic. You cannot forget it. Sir Aldrich fights like a storm. You pass him a spear when his first weapon breaks. Later you hand him another sword. You carry a shield nearly as large as your body. Arrows fall around you. One strikes a boy beside you. He drops instantly. No one stops to help him. When the battle ends, the field is covered with bodies. Crows already circle overhead. You walk through the mud, retrieving Sir Aldrich's dropped weapons while wounded men beg for water. Some knights give mercy, others finish the wounded with knives. You begin to understand another truth. War does not care about honor. The victory brings temporary rewards. Sir Aldrich allows you to sit closer to the fire that night. You eat roasted meat for the first time in weeks. For a moment, you feel proud. You survived. Many others did not. Years pass quickly after that. Your body grows stronger. Your shoulders widen. The wooden sword becomes steel. You train harder than ever. You believe that one day you will become a knight yourself. The dream keeps you moving. But the body remembers every injury. Your left knee aches from a fall during training. Two of your ribs never healed correctly after a sparring accident. You wake each morning with stiffness in your joints. You are only 17. Politics begins to poison the castle. Lords argue over land. Taxes rise. Peasants whisper about rebellion. Sir Aldrich becomes harsher. He drinks more wine. Sometimes he strikes you for mistakes that are not yours. Loyalty does not protect you. Another war begins. This one is worse. The enemy army is larger, better equipped, and desperate. You ride with Sir Aldrich again. This time you carry a real sword. You are no longer just a servant. You are expected to fight. The battle begins before dawn. Fog covers the valley. Horns echo across the hills. Soldiers tighten straps on their armor with shaking hands. Your heart beats so loudly you think others can hear it. Sir Aldrich nods once, then the charge begins. Steel crashes against steel. You swing your sword wildly as enemy soldiers push forward. A man lunges toward you with a spear. You barely block it. Your blade catches his shoulder. The resistance of flesh is something you will never forget. He falls screaming. The fighting lasts for hours. At some point, Sir Aldrich disappears in the chaos. Horses run loose across the field. Shields break under repeated blows. You are covered in blood. Some of it is yours. Most of it is not. When the battle ends, the enemy controls the field. Your army retreats. You search desperately for Sir Aldrich among the wounded. You finally find him lying beside a broken cart. An arrow is buried deep in his chest. His breathing is shallow. He dies before sunset. Without a knight, you are nothing. The castle that once fed you closes its gates. Another lord might accept you, but competition is fierce. There are many squires and very few knights. Weeks pass while you travel from fortress to fortress. Each one turns you away. Your body weakens. Food becomes scarce. Old injuries return with sharp pain. You sell pieces of your equipment just to survive. The dream of knighthood fades quietly. No ceremony, no honor, just exhaustion. Winter finally breaks you. Snow falls across the roads while you walk alone between villages. Your boots are torn. Your cloak barely keeps out the wind. Fever begins slowly. By the time you reach a small monastery, you can barely stand. The monks let you sleep inside a cold stone room. You never fully recover. Years later, you die quietly. Not in battle, not in glory. Your lungs fail after a long illness caused by wounds that never healed properly. You are 26 years old. The monks bury you in an unmarked grave behind the chapel. No banners, no armor, no songs. Your life in numbers, 19 years serving a knight, 7 battles survived, 32 scars across your body, 0 lands owned, 0 titles earned, 26 years lived. You spent your life chasing honor. But honor belonged to the powerful. You were simply the boy who carried their armor. Power in this world is simple. Some men command, others obey. You were born into obedience, and obedience consumed your life. If this story surprised you, remember something. History is not made only by kings and knights. It is built on the bones of thousands of forgotten people like you. People who trained, fought, and died without ever becoming the heroes they were promised. You wanted knighthood. This was the price.